Hi everyone, I wanted to do a video today focusing on modern dating advice, and something that I recently as in a few days ago, that I believe is going to be a really good step towards just like my future and just a good step towards my life in general. This video is definitely going to be aimed towards young women. You guys know I'm 22. I love to make advice videos for, all my other young ladies out there because life is hard enough as it is. So I try to share what I know at this point in time, okay? But that being said, this could very well apply to many young men as well. So I do know, I've looked at my demographics, and about 25 to 30% of my followers are male. So on TikTok, not on here, but if it transfers correctly, then it would be about the same. So if you're a guy and you're watching this and you're thinking, oh shit, this video isn't for me, you can keep watching because I bet there will be a lot that will end up resonating with you. So I deleted Tinder and Hinge a few days ago, and they were the only dating apps I had. I used to have Bumble as well when I was in college, but I deleted it over the summer. I got sick of it. Well, I met this like really evil situationship I had off of there, so I think that's why I just was biased. But at the same time, I didn't like Bumble because women had to message first, which, not that I've never messaged first. Like on Hinge I definitely have, because you swipe and you can like say something about someone's profile. I've definitely done that. I mean, I'm not against it, but me having to do the work every single time was just too much. Also, everyone on Bumble is evil. Like I couldn't deal with it. So yeah, I also had a couple guys that, this is gonna sound crazy, but I swear they didn't know how the app worked. Like I would message them and I would be like, oh, love your hair, like love your style or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, so like you're the type that initiates stuff because you message first. I was like, no, I have to, like, not to burst your bubble, but like it's the design of the app also, what the fuck. Anyway, so that didn't end up working out, okay, on Bumble. And then on Tinder and Hinge, Tinder is just a cesspool. Okay, enough said. I don't have to explain like what's going on there. Anybody that I did have a good conversation with, we would just randomly stop talking. Or they do this thing, guys specifically will do this thing where they'll be like, oh, can I get your Instagram off of Tinder? And it's like, of course. And then you give it to them, never hear a single peep from them ever again. Like I don't know what the point is of them getting your Instagram. Some of them, in fact, I've checked my followers, which I don't do this very often because I frankly don't have the time and I don't care, but I've checked my followers, or I saw that like a guy that I talked to on Tinder forever ago posted a story on Instagram, and I go to his account and he's like unfollowed me. I was like, was this just for follow? Was this all a ploy for followers? Like, what is wrong with you? I don't know. Okay, I don't know what's going on with a lot of young men in general. Not to say that there aren't good ones out there, because there absolutely are, but a lot of women feel this way. And honestly, sorry, that lamp was pissing me off. A lot of men probably feel this way about young women too, just feeling like they can't get across, they can't get through, they can't break the mental barrier, they don't really connect with anyone, which I totally understand that. I mean, like, literally story of my life over here. So I deleted Tinder because it was too rapid. It was too rapid fire. It was very much like constantly cycling 80 times a day for me, and that was just too much. And I know that most people on there were like looking for hookups or whatever. Okay, so here's the thing with me. If I was at a bar, if I was at a club, if I was at a festival, if I was at an event, a concert, and I met a guy and we hit it off and whatever, we end up hanging out, totally hookup warranted. Okay, if I like whatever, he's a chill person, he's clean, okay, yes, very, very important. You guys know I have videos about STDs, whatever. That's a typical scenario where I feel like that's totally typical. Like having a hookup in that situation is very expected and that's normal. Planning a hookup is absolutely fucking nuts to me, and that's why I couldn't get behind the idea of Tinder. Like, why are we texting and planning for like me to come over and eat $5 pizza? And that's awful. I can't even think about that, because if hookups don't happen naturally to me, I'm not doing it, which is why I famously don't really do it, because it's like, I just don't. Why would I plan to do that? That's literal mental insanity. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, this is not to shame anyone. If you do that, I do you. You guys know I believe in like personal freedom and like, please do what you want. I'm just saying from my perspective, like, I don't understand that. Just texting someone about whatever and then, oh yeah, like we planned like a hookup for Wednesday. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned, guys. Anyway, And then I deleted Hinge because, again, self-explanatory, like, Hinge is just very evil. Like, Hinge is just very evil. Like, every single date I've ever went off of Hinge, which in college I went on a lot of dates off of Hinge. Wait, let me try the lamp one more time. Okay, no, it doesn't like me. Just kidding. I have to get a new lamp. Anyway, yeah, I went on a couple dates in college off of Hinge, and they were, like, it's fine, but it just didn't, I never met anyone I really connected with off of any dating app in the world, ever. So, in my mind, I mean, I first got on these dating apps when I was 18 years old. I'm 22 now. It's like, what is the point? What is the point? The only meaningful relationships with guys I've ever had, even if it was just like whatever, it didn't really last that long, I met them in person. I met them at a bar, I met them at an event, I met them at a club, I met them at, I don't like a festival, like whatever, okay? So to me, I don't even understand the point of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have Hinge or Tinder. It's just, it was pissing me off. It was taking up storage on my phone. Honestly, every time I looked at it, I was like, this is just aggravating me. I don't have the time. Swiping on all that shit on Hinge and Tinder, literally full-time job. It is a full-time job. My friends who are on those apps, like, and I'm not even, I sound like a pick-me, like, my friends who are on those apps, I literally deleted them 3 days ago. Like, that was me. I'm not hating. But my friends who are on those apps and they consistently go on dates and stuff, like, I know how much time it takes to go through the selection and, you know, pick the ones you want and hope that they might, you know, like you back, and then maybe they'll message you, and then maybe you can go out. It's like, it takes so much time that I truly, I could say I don't have, but like, I could put my time towards that if I wanted to. I really don't want to. I really don't care. Like, I'm just, the idea of sitting there and going through guys' profiles for hours on end and picking, like, that's like torture to me. I could be doing other things. Like, I don't want to do that. So that's a big part of it for me, is that I truly do not want to dedicate an hour a day to doing that and talking to people. And I really, oh God, I'm gonna sound like one of those people that, like, people you knew in high school who were like, school is so dumb, like, we're all on a floating rock, and like the government's behind it all, and like nothing matters. And like, I'm gonna sound like that right now. But honestly, I'm not gonna say I'm someone who hates small talk, because it really depends on the situation, but I hate small talk in the sense that, like, I hate introducing myself over and over and over again to different guys. It's exhausting for me. And that's the way it is. And some people are different. You know, there are girls who, like, they live for this shit, and there are guys that live for this shit. Like, they love doing this and like meeting new people and having all these relationships, and that's great. I think I'm the type of person that was probably only meant to have a few very meaningful, like, romantic relationships in my life, and that's fine. And some people are just like that, you know, like, everybody's different, okay? But I don't have the energy to devote to talking to 5 or 6 different guys a day and telling them all of this stuff about me and trying to form a connection with them and it's like, and of course people are like, Helena, what are you talking about? Like, you're clearly not playing the game correctly. Like, you're not supposed to actually care. That's the issue with me, is that I do actually care, and despite, you know, I guess I would say how I present myself on social media and how my personality might come off through the camera, I actually am a very, like, emotional person, and everything is really always that deep to me, which is something that you probably surmised from my videos already. But I don't do meaningless relationships. I don't do, oh, he's just on and off, like, whatever. Like, I don't do that with people. I'm either, like, all in or I'm all out, which is, like, reason number 835 that I could never be polyamorous. But actually, that's a subject for another video, and I'll probably get canceled when I talk about it, but I don't care, because it's the truth. So whatever, we're not going to talk about that right now. But yeah, I really don't have the time or energy or will or want to do that and spend all this time a day talking to all these randoms who we might end up going out once to, like, fucking Chili's or, like, B-dubs or something, and then what? Then he, like, awkwardly tries to kiss me in the parking lot, and then when I get home, he's like, that was so fun, like, when, like does next Tuesday work for you? And it's like, well, I didn't have fun at all. So also, in a lot of dates I've been on off of dating apps, and this is partially because, I will say, I think, no, well, it's not, I think, I mean, I've literally been told this. I would say I am a very good conversationalist. I'm really good at talking to people. I always have something to talk about. I talk a lot. I have ADHD, which I don't talk about a lot because I don't make diagnoses like my personality, but I do have it and I'm not medicated, and that's why I can come up with 85 different video ideas in a day, because that's just what I do, okay? Like, it's not hard for me. But yeah, you know, so but that, all that to say, almost every date I've ever been on, I do all of the talking, all of it. And a lot of guys, and this might just be a young guy thing, I'm not at the age, I'm not sure if it's a young guy thing or if it's a men in general thing, where they don't ask me any questions about myself, like, at all. Like, I have to start volunteering information because they don't ask me what I like to do, they don't ask me what my family's like, they don't ask me what I majored in, they don't ask what my hobbies are, they don't ask what my job is, they don't ask anything, they don't care. And it's very, it's, you know, it's exhausting, it's tiring to lead the conversation. I'm asking all this stuff about them, and it's so awkward, and it's so, and I know I'm nitpicking, and again, I know people are like, Helena, all you do is complain. I mean, yeah, but this is like a legitimate issue, though, because there's a lot of people who feel like this, where, you know, they've been on the dating apps for years and they've never had any luck, and they're like, is it me? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, am I insane? Like, am I weird? Am I ugly? Am I fat? Like, why am I not having the luck my friends are having? And the reason is, honestly, most of the time, like, I'm talking to women here, like 99% of the time, it's because you actually have standards and you don't want to feel like you're the second or third or fourth or fifth option. And that's okay. You should feel like that if you have any sort of self-respect, self-worth, okay? Like, that's a big part of it too, is that, you know, a lot of young people really don't value relationships because they're just going from, like, person to person, which, like, that's fine. Again, I don't care what other people do. Like, that's never going to be something that, like, I am concerned about because it's none of my business. But for me personally, I know that, like, that's not something that I would want. So I really thought about it, and I was like, you know, I need to get off of these apps. Like, this is not really beneficial for me at this point in time. And one of my friends, Ella, has been telling me, like, literally for years, she's like, you need to get off the apps and, like, find someone in person. You know, she's been saying, like, because she met her boyfriend, her and her boyfriend have been dating for like 2 years or something, might be a little more now, and she met him in person, and she was like, you have to do it, like, it's really the only way. She's like, think about it, wouldn't you want to meet someone that likes to go the same places that you go? I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, then you have to go to those places and meet people. I was like, which might seem like a no-brainer, like, obviously that's what they did back in the day, back in, you know, fucking 1970, 80, 90, early 2000s. They still do it now, of course, but it's just, a lot of young guys are, I would say, they lack the social skills and the confidence to approach women. So it's like, there were many nights, especially in college, where I would go out and I would have, like, staring contests with a couple guys, but none of them would come up to me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, hello? Like, I don't know. And I had the mentality for a long time, which I kind of still do, I'm gonna be real with you, where I'm like, I would not approach a guy. I would not approach men. I would not do that. I don't do that. Like, I just don't. And a lot of it, honestly, I think a lot of it stems from the fact that, like, school was awful for me, like, elementary, middle school, high school. Like, I was that person where, like, people would come up and, you know, oh, my friend likes you, just kidding, you're so ugly, like, why would we say that, you know, like, getting asked that as a joke, like, whatever. I think that's, like, a big reason that I would not ever approach guys, on top of, like, other things I personally believe. But I mean, never say never. I've done it before, only twice on record, but both times that I did it, I didn't regret it, because they ended up being guys that, like, they were like, oh, I was gonna say something, but I was just nervous, or I was whatever, I was, you know, or we had, you know, we, like, hit it off, we were talking, we had a good connection, like, it was chill. But so never say never, but at the same time, like, it's not ridiculous to expect guys to come up to you. Like, that used to be, it used to be much more common. I think young men have this really crippling fear of rejection and, like, being posted on, like, social media or, like, talked about in group chats, which, like, I understand. Like, if you're a young guy and you're watching this and you're like, yeah, no duh, Helena, like, that's why I don't do that, I totally understand. But at the same time, it's like, something's gotta give. something's got to give. Like, I just, based on thousands of years, millions of years of history, like, women are not suddenly going to become like the more outspoken, like, dominant ones. Like, they just aren't. Like, if we're talking from like a biological standpoint, like, they're just not gonna fucking do that. So it's kind of either like you figure it out or you don't. And who knows, I mean, maybe your match is a girl who's super outspoken and will initiate everything and come up to you, but the reality is the majority of women don't like that. They don't like having to do that because it makes them feel like a guy. So that's why I don't do it, because I'm like, but again, I mean, never say never. There are exceptions. I've clearly done it a couple times before and I haven't regretted it, but like on a regular basis, like, no, which was also a big factor for me, because I was like, if I delete these and I delete the profiles, like, is there even any guarantee that I would, you know, meet guys out? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing, like, whatever. So the answer is yes. And you honestly just have to, like, you honestly just have to delete them and then full send it. Like, you have to delete them and then you have to go out to bar, club, whatever. I'd recommend a bar or a club, okay, because alcohol makes a lot of people less nervous. I know it makes me way less nervous. That, you know, you have to go there and, you know, you look nice, you do your makeup and you put a cute outfit on and you whatever. And I'm not saying that you have to go up and talk to them, but like, put yourself in a position where it looks like you're available. I think a lot of guys, especially really young guys, like I'm 22, so guys from like 20 to 25 years old get really nervous because they can't tell if the girl is like actually open to talking to them or not, because you're just standing in the corner kind of looking in the other direction, avoiding eye contact. I know it's scary, especially for girls out there with like social anxiety, but like, you have to make eye contact with people. Like, do laps around the bar. If for some reason nobody's really seeming super active in the area that you're in, go walk around the bar. That's what I did a couple weekends ago. I was like, this is not it. And so then I walked around the bar, and as I was walking, this like guy came up to me and, you know, whatever, we started talking. Like, it was great. Like, don't be afraid to move around and explore your options, but make sure you're looking around and like holding eye contact with people, because a lot of guys, like, if you're not looking at them, if you're not looking around, if you don't look socially open to having a conversation, they're never in a million years gonna come up and talk to you, because they are so scared of you turning around and being like, ew, like, no, like, I have a boyfriend, like, I'm here with my friends, or like, not interested, or like, whatever. And I know that, I don't know, like, I think coming from certain videos on my channel, you might be really surprised to hear me say this, and you're like, Helena, I thought that you were this like extroverted, like, boss ass bitch, like, what is wrong with you? Like, I can't believe you're defending men who don't know how to talk to girls at bars. And it's like, I'm realistic. You guys know this about me. I'm realistic, I'm logical, and I can very often see both sides of the issue, where like, I do understand why some young men do not really want to approach. They're not comfortable with like approaching at the bar. I mean, I think they should be. I think it's a really good skill for them, and it will be a really good skill, especially if they're looking for, you know, any sort of relationship. But that's just the reality. That's just how it is. And social media has made a lot of this stuff a lot worse, because they're, you know, afraid of, I don't know, like, being made fun of online or like whatever. Again, I'm not really excusing it. I'm just kind of like rationalizing the behavior. So if you are ever at a bar and you kind of are like making eye contact with a guy or whatever, but you can't really tell, but he's not coming over to you, really don't be afraid to say something. Don't be afraid to say something. And I'll tell you the exact line you can say where, and you're like, well, Helena, I'm a girl, but I'm also scared of rejection. Like, that's terrifying. It is, I understand. So I'll give you a line that you can say where, if, and this almost never happens. Like 99% of the time, like, if you go up and talk to a guy, he will not reject you. That's just how guys are. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to be offensive. That's just how they are. Especially if it's a guy that like you think has been looking at you and you think you're like, okay, like, I see you over there, you know, like, whatever, you know what I mean? If you've been up to the bar, like, you know, you've been making eye contact. So most of the time they're really not going to reject you, or they'll just be like really polite or whatever. They'll keep talking with you. But if you're really worried about it, this is what you can say. You can go up and you can say, do you want to dance, or do you have a girlfriend? And then if for some reason, I don't know, he's not super into you, he can just say, oh, I have a girlfriend. And then, like, you know, he doesn't have to do the whole awkward, like, oh, no, thanks, like, oh, like, you know, and you just basically offered the answer for him. So he doesn't have to think about it. So that's definitely, or he'll be like, oh, no, I don't have a girlfriend, I'd love to dance, you know, whatever, which again, 99% of the time will probably be the answer, okay? But I'm just saying, like, Hinge and Tinder It's also just very, very, it's honestly, and again, I'm gonna sound like an old person, it's depressing. It's really depressing to me to get on like Hinge or Tinder or whatever and just swipe through all these people, and it's just this, you know, it's a big performance, and we're all just like basically lying to each other about whatever. I know this sounds like the fucking subreddit, like I'm 14 and this is deep, but it really is this deep though, because it's like, for all you know, like you only have one life. Why would I want to spend it on fucking Hinge and Tinder looking for people who they don't know me, they've never met me in person, they don't understand my personality, they don't understand, you know, like my presence in real life, and they're just basing their entire opinion off of, you know, on me off of like 3 or 4 pictures and a bio. I wouldn't want that, and frankly, and again, this is no shade to anyone that like met their partner this way, but the thought of telling my parents that like I met my boyfriend or I met my husband like on Hinge or Tinder is actually insane. And also they would laugh their asses off. No. Like, no. And like my parents are really supportive, but I couldn't blame them for laughing because that's ridiculous. Like, oh yeah, this is my husband, we met on Tinder. Like, oh my God. Spare me, I can't, this is so embarrassing. And it's like, again, this is my opinion, please, like if you're watching this and you're like, well, me and my husband met on Tinder and we have a great relationship, so fuck you, it's your right, it's your life, not mine, right? What would I know about that? You know, I'm just sharing like my experience. Like, to me that sounds horrifying, and everybody I know would definitely clown me. So yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. And frankly, like if we're being real, there's hardly anyone in my age range, I would say again 20, 25, that's actually looking for a relationship. Everybody is strictly looking for like random situationship, hookup, fucking 4th person added to the polycule like insanity. Okay, which is fine, like whatever, like you can do what you want, but that's not what I'm looking for. And for women, like young women like myself, who are actually looking for a meaningful connection with someone or a consistent relationship, we don't have to be fucking soulmates, okay? Like I'm 22. Do you really think I'm looking for my husband right now? If he fell out of the sky, I wouldn't be mad, but like, you know what I mean? It's not something that's super heavy on my mind right now because I'm so young, and because I know that I likely have a few mid to long-term relationships to get through before I even really discover what type of guy I like most and who's gonna work best with me. I'll make a different video on this because it's too long of a story, but like I previously kind of found out that the type I had in my head for years that I always told everybody was my type is not actually my type at all. Never meet your heroes, bro. Never meet your heroes. It's because I actually dated evil situationship. Okay, I was with a guy who fit that type for like a few months over the summer, and I was like, wait, why is this awful? Like, why is this actually horrible? Like, oh my God. So really the only way that you're gonna know what you like and what works for you is through experience. It's through life experience. And some of those experiences are gonna be awful, and you're gonna think, why the fuck did I do that? That was so dumb. I shouldn't have ever gone out with this guy. I shouldn't have given the time of day, whatever. Okay, that's typical. Everybody goes through that. And then you're gonna have experiences where you're like, wow, that was great. Like maybe in the end we weren't compatible, but like we had a good time and like we had a good relationship and like whatever. And that's normal as well. But my point is, like, you need to experience this stuff firsthand to know what you like. Swiping and looking at all of these different, again, profiles where people are just lying or putting on a character or whatever on their profiles, that's not going to tell you anything. That's not going to teach you anything. You're not learning anything from that. You just aren't. And you know, you might say, well, I'm not trying to learn anything right now, Helena, that's just what I want to do. That's okay. I know. I mean, again, I'm 22 years old. I'm not a nun. I'm not a Puritan. I'm not suggesting that. I mean, I go out every fucking weekend. I mean, seriously, I'm not saying that you should never hook up with people. No, do what you want. Do what you want, please, by all means. I'm really not. I'm not with the whole like conservative movement where we're like shaming people for living their lives. That's insane. No, I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying, if you're somebody who like, you're like me, you're like-minded, and you're tired of it, and you're just looking for somebody that could be like, you know, consistent relationship, like whatever. I'm gonna be real, like, I think you have to delete them. You have to, and you have to start meeting people in real life, and that's just the way it is. And I really think that, like, if I think about, like, I'm thinking about acquaintances, just like random people in my life that I'm not really close with, right? But like, they have relationships. the people that I know that met organically are by a long shot doing much better than people who met on dating apps. And that's just my opinion, and that's just my life, and maybe in your life you know people and you think the exact opposite is true, and you know, whatever. Then that would be true for you. That'd be true for your experience. But for my experience, I don't see a ton of like awesome stuff come from this. I don't see memorable, like, you know, great relationships where they had this good connection. I see like dating on and off and situationships, and oh yeah, we dated for 3 months and then he cheated on me, and oh, it's like, oh my god, the cheating is endless. And dating apps and the rise in cheating, that's a topic for another video, but it's there. And that's another reason why I don't want to be on the dating apps, because I don't want to date a guy that uses dating apps. That probably sounds insane, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, everybody has dating apps. I don't. It's the honest to God truth. I don't want to. I would rather just meet someone, a guy out, and then we could probably have a shared bonding moment over how awful Tinder is. Like, I don't ever want to meet someone in a bar and then we hang out, you know, for a few weeks before it's like official and I see him on Tinder or on Hinge. Like, that's insane to me. No, I wouldn't. So yeah, a lot of this for me definitely stems from the fact that like I wouldn't want to date a guy who was really active on like dating apps, or like, you know, that's how we met and I knew that was how I was going to meet the next one. And I don't want to deal with that in my life. I just don't. And again, everyone's different. Like, people can do whatever they want, but for me, yeah, that's why I deleted them. And it's also just very, I mean, I could make a whole essay about this too, but I think young men are, honestly, both genders, I would say, like, we just have too much access to each other. We just do. You were never meant to see this many people in a day, to be able to talk to this many people in a day. And I'm sorry, and again, I'm gonna sound like Amish, but it really is true for the human brain. And that's why, and while porn addiction ties a lot into this too, which I'm gonna make a separate video about that. But I'm just coming up with all sorts of topics in this video. Oh my god, sorry guys, I'm like rambling a bit. But that's the reason why young men, it's much more prevalent in young men, but I've known it to happen to young women too, where it's just like, because of the dating apps and because of the porn and because of social media, there's constantly looking for the next best thing. They can never be happy. They can never try to work anything out. They can never like be content with what they have, because they're constantly looking for a more attractive person, a richer person, a funnier person, a person with more followers, a person with a better career. It's like, holy fuck, like, oh my god. Like, not that you shouldn't strive for the best for yourself, but you know what I mean. Like, I know people that I swear to God, this is like all they do. And it's like, they're just constantly chasing the next. It's like, you're never gonna be happy. What's that saying? Wherever you go, there you are. Like, you really have to work on yourself and like think about what you're doing before you chase all of these other people into the sunset constantly. Like this is not, because at the end of the day, it's really, yes, like finding a good life partner is very important, but like, it's really not about them, it's about you. It is. And you need to learn who you are and what you like and what you want out of a relationship, and the only way out is through. The only way is by meeting people and having those experiences and having those ups and downs and connections with people, so you can eventually, you know, find the person you're gonna marry or whatever. And I'm sorry, but like, it's just not my opinion that you would ever find some shit like that on Tinder or Hinge, because it doesn't exist, and nobody there actually gives a fuck about you beyond what the outside of your body looks like. So that's it. Case closed. See you in the next one. Have a great night.